So like I said to you just before, I'm really glad I don't have to be the one to choose 8 through 12 on your Olympic team. But before that, let me ask you about the Big West adding men's volleyball. Since you used to coach in that league, you're a rival of it now in your other job. That's a really significant thing for men's volleyball, I think.
I think so too. I think it's great for the growth of the sport. We need to have more conferences. I don't know what the right term would be, real conferences. I don't mean to demean certainly the MPSF or the MIVA or the EIVA, but the legitimate conferences take on men's volleyball. The more we have a voice in the NC2A, and certainly the more we'll be able to pressure the NC2A for bracket expansion, which is ultimately the long-term goal.
It seems to be on a growth all around the country, whether in small pockets, the Division 2, 3s,
right.
Areas that you wouldn't necessarily expect. So from your perspective, you've got to be happy about that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think there are some real positives there, and we have to build on that, and that's what we have to do. There has to be a concerted effort to try and continue to grow it. There are some opportunities at the D3 and the D2 level. I'd like to see at the D1 level. That's I think the next step, and hopefully that can occur.
So meanwhile, back to the Olympic team.
Yeah.
Since we're here in the training
Current
center.
task at hand.
Yeah, right. We're not that far out.
No.
We just watched your team practice, and you have the luxury of having some fabulous athletes out there. And it looks, from an outsider looking in, versatility and depth at every position, youth and experience at every position, and a really tough job ahead of you as you head down the stretch here to pick 12 people from that group.
Right. I think it's the hardest part about this job is actually ultimately picking 12. Every single tournament, the entire quad, you can take 14, and here at the Olympics you have to choose 12. So potentially there's a couple guys that have made maybe every trip, and you got to tell them they didn't do it. And we've all seen that. We watched Miracle, and that last cut. I mean, that's hard because there's somebody that's been working hard and you care about and means a lot to the team, and they don't have an opportunity to maybe fulfill their ultimate goal. And certainly we're empathetic to how hard that is.
You've got a real fun time coming up. It seems like World League. You get to play at home in Dallas. I mean, the crowd should be good. People are excited.
Yeah.
It's more than just competition, though, but it is the competition you've been looking for.
It'll be great competition. World League's been great for us. I think it's wonderful preparation for the Olympics. We're excited to be in Dallas in particular because it crosses over with the Junior Olympics. I think every opportunity we have to play in front of the young boys and the youth is wonderful for our sport. So I'm thrilled that USA Volleyball put that together so that it all worked out timing-wise, and we'll be playing some good teams there, including Russia. So we're playing Russia and Italy and Brazil, Argentina, Iran, all of these Olympic teams that we'll maybe cross over with.
Pools are announced. Easy road in Rio.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be hard no matter what.
No, the way traditionally the Olympics work is the host is the number 1 seed. So what you end up having usually is the number 1 and 2 seeds in one pool, and then it snakes back and forth. So usually there's a power pool. That's not the case here because Brazil is the number 1 seed, and of course they're a great volleyball team. So it actually works out to have maybe 2 more equal pools. So I mean, pick your poison in this one. Ours, I think, is really difficult. I think France is playing some of the best volleyball in the world. Brazil, the host. Italy, the traditional power. And then we have 2 regional rivals. I think Canada didn't play great in the Olympic qualifier. We were able to beat them in the World Cup, but I just think they're going to be a bear. We haven't played against Schmidt. He didn't play against us when we played him in the World Cup. And so I think when he's healthy, when Canada's healthy, they can beat anybody. They went 5 with Poland. They were up 2-0 on Iran at the last qualifier. So I think it's going to be a challenge just to get out of the pool.
I'll leave you to leave me with this.
Yeah.
How do you decide those final cuts? I know you chart everything in practice.
Yeah.
You've got a team of people who basically chart every single movement.
Right.
You watch. You've got your brain, you've got your heart, you got your gut.
Yep.
You know what it takes because you've been to these Olympiads.
Sure.
You know what? Yeah.
It's all of those things, and tough staff meetings. It's amazing how much time you spend talking about that issue. How are you going to make that final 12? And I'd like to say that certainly some intangible things may impact that decision, but we've got a great group of guys. The chemistry here has just been great, and the culture that we've developed here has just been phenomenal. And so those intangibles are also there for a lot of these guys, so it's going to be a really difficult call.